Hello everyone, and welcome once again to Scorpion Cigar Reviews. Today I will be reviewing a Juan Lopez. This is your typical Toro size 6x54 ring gauge cigar. Wrapper feels kind of like a dry leather. Some typical veins in there. You can see them and feel them coming through. Almost kind of rough looking almost. Has I believe that it's a triple cap I'm seeing. For the most part you can see a double cap, but then there's a little bit that looks like it's maybe coming through. It might be a triple cap. Maybe I'll get a better idea when I cut the cap. Anyway, the scent on the wrapper. A little bit of hay. And just general tobacco type notes. The foot, some kitchen spices, maybe a little bit of cocoa in there, some bread dough. And there's a hint of some kind of hot pepper of some sort. Yeah, okay. Nice firm pack. Not overly firm. It doesn't feel brittle, but it's definitely packed. Couple soft spots, not terribly soft, but no big deal, I don't think. It's got a pretty decent weight to it, commensurate with the pack, so I think we're good to go there. Now today, I'll be doing just a straight guillotine cut using my trusty Cigar. I picked this cigar up at one of those, darn bugs, one of those discount tobacco shops, kind of nameless type of thing. I don't even remember what they're called. I've bought from them fairly frequently, but never remember the name. I think I paid, I want to say $5.34 before tax. Something like that. Wasn't ridiculous. Wasn't exactly a budget smoke, but it is what it is. I was going to double check that cap, see if I could see anything once I cut it. Still kind of inconclusive there. I'm thinking it's a triple cap. Yeah, because I got two right here, and the third is still there. So it's what they've done is they put the smaller cap on the very top, and then put a larger cap over that, and kind of encompassed the smaller cap. A little bit of it was sticking out. Then you've got the even larger cap on the outside of that. Yeah, definitely a triple cap it looks like. Alright. Very dry pre-light draw here. A little bit of cedar, a little bit of leather. Some kitchen spice. I think that's about all I'm picking up at the moment. Alright, I'll be using my Cigar double flame torch lighter. Do I have gas in it? Let me see. Yeah, it should be alright. let's give that a shot. Right off the bat, get the typical blast of pepper. Something else in there. One of those aftertastes that I don't like, but it's kind of subtle. It's way in the back. Very short on the finish. So it may just be part of the typical mix of things that come up on the early in the lighting that fizzle out rather quickly. Let's see. Yeah, it's dissipating already. Pepper's ramping up, becoming much more forward, a lot stronger. Okay. I'll continue smoking this, let it heat up a bit. I'll come back somewhere in the first third. See you in a bit. I'll be pairing today's cigar with a local micro-brew. It's a Chaos Brewing Company, just a couple miles down the road on Chaos Mountain. This particular beer is called Scotch Ale. This is a Belgian style ale. I believe this was the Belgian style, but it's one of their ales. This is, it says, this big multi-Scotch ale presents a wealth of complex flavors, not too dark, with a little bit of initial sweetness. It finishes dry. This beer will put hair on your chest, and like our buddy Squatch, maybe all over. Okay, so this wasn't the Belgian style. I had a Belgian style ale the other night. And this comes in at 7.5% alcohol by volume. There we have it. You have the Chaos Mountain Brewing. And there's your little Sasquatch guy carrying a keg of beer on the front. Isn't that cute? Carefully poured. Not much head to this. Now, I poured this the other night. My wife and I both had some, and I poured hers a little too fast, and she had quite a head on hers, and mine had very little head because I slowed down the pour. But anyway, a little malty, very refreshing, well balanced. Anyway, let's get back to the cigar review. Here we are about 15 minutes or so in. It was starting to burn unevenly, but it's already correcting itself right here. An uneven burn line, no big deal. We'll just kind of watch it and see what happens. Ash is starting to tilt over towards one side a little bit. As it's burning more quickly down one side than the other, it's tilting a little bit, no big deal. So we'll just watch it. It's mellowed down. That pepper note is, at the moment, completely gone. Something there. I'm going to have to think about it. The strength is maybe a low end to medium. Body is low end to medium. Not a whole lot going on with the flavors at the moment. So there's something there. I'm not quite sure what it is. Ever so slight hint of that pepper. Very subtle. Alright, well, we'll continue on. We'll come back somewhere in the second third. This is... I thought it might have been a triple cap, but I'm looking here. I've got the two pieces after I clipped it, and I'm not seeing any additional. I thought I saw a third in there, but maybe not. I think this was just a double cap. This was a double cap, not a triple. My bad. Here we are about 35 minutes in. I ashed it off at, not quite 2 inches. It was burning a little unevenly, and the ash was leaning off to one side. I didn't want to wear it. So I went ahead and I tapped it off, and then I corrected the burn. And as you can see, it tapped off kind of jagged, and it's continuing to burn uneven. Now this could be one of those soft spots that I felt earlier on. I'll go ahead and touch this up a little bit again here. Just to ensure that it's going to continue to burn properly. Give it every possible chance to do the right thing. You may have heard a buzzing in one of the earlier segments. There was a little bee. I'm not sure what kind of bee it was. It was bigger than a sweat bee, but it looked like a sweat bee. Landed right on the microphone on the camera there. Just buzzed for quite a while, a couple times. Anyway. Has a medium body and a low end of medium on the strength. There's a subtle mild pepper note, subtle bit of nuttiness there. Maybe a hint of mineral in there as well. Flavors are pretty subtle. You have to kind of look for them, which, it's not a bad thing, especially for an experienced smoker that knows to look for things. Maybe a novice wouldn't pick it up. But it's interesting. I like having to search to some degree for the flavors. If I've got to put all my efforts into trying to find some kind of flavor, then I don't enjoy the smoking aspect quite as much. As long as I know I can find the flavors there, I'm happy. Plenty of smoke output. Not a whole lot of wind here today. It kind of kicks in and out a little bit, but there's a little bit of that pepper note. Got a blast of it there. Pepper seems to be going kind of in and out. Just when I think it's gone, all of a sudden it's back with a vengeance, and then it disappears again. So a lot of changes. A bit of complexity to the cigar. I like that. The smoke's not terribly dry. A little bit of dryness to it, but it's reasonable. Pairing nicely with the squatch. Alright, so I'll continue on. I'll come back somewhere in the final third. See you in a bit. Here we are approaching the 1 hour mark. Still burning unevenly. I've touched it up a few times. Go ahead and tap that ash off. There we go. Go ahead and remove the band at this point. The label application plays a role in my scoring of a cigar. This one came off pretty nicely. I've had them come off better than that, but there wasn't an excessive amount of glue. It didn't stick to the wrapper leaf at all. It didn't damage the wrapper leaf. There's no glue left on the wrapper leaf. So I'm pleased. So it'll be a nice score for the label application. And the label, I might add, is fairly attractive. See, it has like a coat of arms or the family crest or whatever you want to call it. Very nice. So I've been smoking this for just about an hour, including lighting time and that type of thing. Been a real pleasant cigar. And at $5, like I said, I don't remember the exact price. It was under $6. It was right around $5.50, maybe even a little bit under that. But real pleasant cigar. Definitely a good value. I don't know if I necessarily recommend this to a novice. A beginning smoker might not pick out some of the flavors. So I would recommend this cigar to someone that doesn't like forward, in-your-face flavors. Someone that likes something that's subtle with medium or low-medium body and strength. This is a cigar that you could either sit down, smoke it, and really pay attention to it, and really think about it, really think about the flavors. Or, if you're not concerned about flavors, you can just sit back and smoke it and not worry that you're missing a whole lot. There's not a whole lot going on. There are a few flavors, a little bit of nuttiness, a little bit of woodsiness, subtle hints of mineral. What else did I pick up? A little bit of pepper in there. So it's a fairly complex cigar, but the flavors aren't very forward. For me, I like seeing flavors that are a little more dominant. But there are times when I enjoy having to kind of search, as long as the flavors are there to find. And they are there to find in this cigar. You just have to look for them. The only burn issues is that it's burning unevenly. It hasn't gone out on me at all. A couple times the smoke got a little thin, but shortly after I noticed the smoke got thin, I found myself needing to touch up the cigar just because the burn was quite uneven, and then the smoke filled up nicely. Really? I just filled this lighter up. Well, I've had to touch this up several times, so it doesn't surprise me. There we go. I'll go ahead and touch this up a little bit again. I will continue this cigar on to the nub. As my regular viewers know, I normally do, unless I find a cigar to be offensive or nasty or just not at all pleasing. But that's not the case with this cigar, so I will definitely smoke this through to the nub. And oftentimes there are some very pleasant changes that take place in the nub. So for those of you that would discard a cigar at this point with, what is this, about 2.5 inches, almost 3 inches of cigar here, although the actual smoking left on the cigar is probably about an inch or so left of actual smokable cigar. Some people will say they're done at this point, and they miss out on things. So I will continue, and I will be back in the nub. See you in a bit. Here we are in the nub. Been smoking this for about an hour and 20 minutes. It's been a pleasant cigar. I've had to touch it up a few times due to uneven burn. It never went out, but smoke became thin, and that's when I paid a little more attention to the burn line and saw it was burning quite unevenly, sometimes completely out on one side. At this point, the smoke is starting to get kind of warm, a little warmer than I like. It's not unsmokable at this point, just a little warmer than I like, but I'll continue this on until it either puts out some bad flavors or is just too hot to smoke. But I'll go ahead and end this review here, saying that the Juan Lopez 6x54 Toro size cigar has been a really pleasant, good value cigar. I would recommend this to an experienced smoker due to the very subtle flavors that you have to look for, but they are there. You just have to look for them. I know my video reviews tend to get kind of long, so if you're not up for a 20 or 30 or 40 minute cigar review, then visit my website, scorpionscigarreviews.yolasite.com. I will post the website address at the end of this video. I will have a written review, which will be much more pleasant for those of you that don't like the long, drawn-out reviews. So I thank you for once again watching Scorpion Cigar Reviews. I'll catch you next time.